and gentlemen, this is ScrapMan, and we are back in Scrap Mechanic with the Western Ghost Town. So, last time we did the Western Saloon over here on the left. If you haven't seen that one yet, go check out that video. There will be a notification in the top right now. And if you have seen that and you're all caught up with the latest installments of the Western Ghost Town, the most requested build was the Sheriff's Office / jail. So, that is what I've done, and this time I'm doing something a little bit different. We're gonna go ahead and fade in right now. I recorded the entire build process, because I noticed that when it comes to building, you don't really see what the process is like for something that's more than like a 10-minute build. Sometimes I do the time lapses for the multiplayer Mondays, where I do those shorter builds that are like maximum 15 minutes or 20 minutes long. But this was about a 3-hour build. So what you're looking at right now is the entire build process, pretty much from start to finish. I cut out some of the dead spots where I was looking at reference pictures and some stuff where I just made decisions that I had to redo anyway. But what you're looking at is pretty much all the work that went into designing this place. So while you're watching this time lapse, here are some fun facts about the Wild West that I ended up finding in my research about sheriff's offices. Now, it turns out that sheriffs were kind of just chosen by the people, and there really wasn't any training or qualifications process. It was just kind of, you just get elected as a sheriff. And it wasn't until in the late 1800s that a guy named David J. Cook wrote a book that had some rules for self-preservation for sheriffs. So it was kind of like the first kind of guide for sheriffs to know what they're doing on the job. Now here's some of the rules in this book. I thought this was kind of funny. Rule number 1, never hit a prisoner over the head with your pistol, because you may afterwards want to use your weapon and find it disabled. Now I thought that was hilarious because it starts off, never hit a prisoner over the head with your pistol, which you think is like, oh, he's just, you shouldn't just be cruel and abusive to your prisoners because you could do some damage if you hit them in the head and they might not deserve it. And, you don't want to cause any lasting brain damage or even kill them accidentally. But no, it's not about the prisoner, it's so you don't hurt your gun. Rule number 2, never attempt to make an arrest without being sure of your authority. Now, I have no idea what it means to be sure of your authority and how to gauge sureness of your authority, but I guess just make sure you're sure of your authority before you arrest someone, whatever that means. Rule number 3, when you attempt to make an arrest of a desperado, have your pistol in your hand or be ready to draw when you make yourself known. My motto has been, quote, "It is better to kill 2 men than to allow 1 to kill you." Imagine if everybody had that motto. It's better to kill 2 men to allow 1 to kill you. I mean, I guess it's an okay model when it comes to self-preservation, but as far as the greatest good, I don't really know if killing 2 men is better than killing 1. I mean, I guess if you think you're on the right side of the law, then sure, why not? Okay, rule number 4. After your prisoner is arrested and disarmed, treat him as a prisoner should be treated, as kindly as his conduct will permit. You will find that if you do not protect your prisoners when they are in your possession, those whom you afterwards attempt to arrest will resist you more fiercely. This is probably the most reasonable rule so far. I think that that's actually a pretty good rule. Treat them as kindly as they'll allow you to treat them, and that makes you look good and allows other prisoners to respect you for that. So yeah, I think I can be on board with that. And the last of the rules that are listed here is rule number 5. Never trust much to the honor of prisoners, your safety, or their custody. 9 out of 10 of them have no honor. I mean, I guess that's reasonable as well. I mean, if they are getting taken into custody, then it's probably because they have some compromised values and honor. So yeah, those are some of the 5 rules of self-preservation according to David Cook of the Wild West. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm gonna let the rest of this time-lapse play out with the music here, and I'll leave a timestamp in the description below if you're not really interested in the time-lapse. I'll leave a timestamp in the description below so you can skip to the walkthrough of the actual sheriff's office. Okay, now for the official walkthrough. So, we got the front of our sheriff's office with a wonky looking star up there. It is very difficult to create a 5-point star that looks nice at that small of a scale in scrap mechanics, so that's the best I could come up with. So this, rather than being made out of wood, I figured making it out of stone was a better option, because I saw that they do have some stone buildings in the Wild West, according to some of the reference pictures, and I think if you have a prison, or a jail rather, then I think stone is probably a little bit more likely to keep your prisoners in than a wooden jailhouse would be. So on the outside we do have a little porch with a chair and a barrel just for decoration. What I really like is these notched wood things sticking out. I saw that in a few pictures of the stone type buildings, so that I thought was kind of cool. I'm really liking these new metal bars. They pretty much are what makes the jail possible. So the tough thing was figuring out the doors. It was really hard to make a door look nice, but this is the best I could come up with, and there's no bars underneath it, so I figured that could be my excuses. This is where we feed the food through, is underneath the jail doors. We got our nice wooden ceilings with our bars. We have a cow skull as decoration. We have a hook for somebody to hang their hat. I was thinking about trying to build a hat, but I couldn't really think of a way to do it that looked nice. We got some rifles. I think they look okay. And of course the sheriff has a pistol on his desk and his mug for whatever kind of drink he may be drinking. We also got some very large keys for our jail doors hanging on the wall here. And our rifle rack as well. Got some decorative boxes and a stool for the deputy. And we have, I couldn't put any switches or anything on the doors themselves because the bars don't really work that way. So I decided to make everything controlled from the sheriff's desk right here. So as you can see, when we press these buttons, each one controls a door. So inside the jail cells, all you really have is a bed pretty much, and a pillow. And I was really annoyed, but I didn't want to rebuild the whole bed, but I could not center the pillow on the bed. And I got the pillow out after I built the bed, and I was like, alright, here we go. Well, shoot. And yeah, I didn't want to resize the whole bed frame, because that's a lot of pipe pieces and a lot of random stuff. That was really tedious to build, so I just went with offset pillow. I don't know why, but I ended up putting all the beds by the windows. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it kind of feels like, you know, with an open barred window like this, anybody could just reach in and grab you while you're sleeping. But maybe that's how we want our prisoners to feel, is uncomfortable during their night's sleep, right? I thought about, I don't know exactly, I tried to do some research. I don't really know what it was like inside of a sheriff's office for a prisoner. I don't know if they had any bathrooms or anything like that. I don't know if they had like a pot to go in or something. So I thought about putting a pot in here. I might add that extra detail a little bit later. Oh, we also have our nice angled overhang here, which I thought was kind of nice. Can I even get up here? There we go. Yeah, so the roof is solid like this, even though on the inside we have a higher section here, but all of the cells themselves have a lower section. Because I figured I wanted to keep the concrete on the roof section as well, rather than having a wooden roof. So these parts are a little bit lower, and then this part is higher, which adds a little bit of architectural variety, which I thought was kind of nice. So yeah, that's pretty much the sheriff office. Now there is something else I've added over here to the wooden saloon. I've added a couple of horse parking areas. I don't know what they call them. The place where you tie your horse off, basically. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments of the sheriff's office. Let me know what you want me to add next. To be honest, I think I'm already actually settled on what I'm going to add next, and I think I'm going to do a bank. because no use having a sheriff office if you don't have a bank to be robbed and capture the criminals from. So other than the bank though, what else do you guys want to see? And if you aren't familiar with what has already been made for the ghost town, because this is not everything that is actually built, I have some accessories that I will be adding once the town starts looking more like a town, like water towers and windmills. So go ahead and see the first episode for that, which will pop up in the corner right now. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you want to see more of the Western Ghost Town, make sure you hit that like button, and if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe and you will see more awesome scrap mechanic builds like this, as well as some other games as well. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Like the intro to like a rap music video. Yo, we got Granny G in the his house. This ain't like nothing you heard before.
Yo, this is Granny G, and I think my boys are hungry. I can bring you cheese and crackers if you want me to hit you up some